Dear accounting students, I am going to walk you through how to do the exercises. I've had some questions about this, and so I want to make sure that we are absolutely clear and going forward, and we'll see what we can do to make sure that um, we are on the same page. So you're looking here at our course. There is the introduction, and if you scroll down to week one, what you're going to see is your study guide. In the study guide, it talks about your assignments here. Let me go up and grab my annotating tool. Um, so you'll see here that you have your reading assignments. Those are the chapters that we're working on. We also want to make sure that you become familiar with the terms and look them up as you need them. Also, we're going to do the end of the chapter exercises. This week we have these exercises on week one, and week two I also have exercises here that you will complete. So each week look to the study guide to tell you which exercises need to be done. You'll also participate in a learning engagement, and the learning engagement each week will ask you a few questions for you to just do a little bit of research in your book and be able to answer those questions. Please get that done by Wednesday and then reply to 2 students by Sunday. Let's take a look then at the process of doing the exercises. So what I want to do is go back here to one, because here I have the textbook PowerPoints. And I just want you to take a look that inside here, these are actually your textbook. Everything you need to know is on these PowerPoint slides. So please have a look each week. All of the topics and walkthrough of the activities is in this lesson. Let's go back here. We also have our exercise resources. When you click on here for all of your weeks, in week one, you're going to find the exercise resources. So let me show you what that looks like. If we open up the exercise resources, they are actually ready-made forms that you can fill out. And you can see here that we're doing exercise 3. So I'm going to scroll down, and it's already created a form for you, plus showing you the problem right here. So you don't need to have the book to be able to do these exercises. You're just going to work on these. I strongly suggest that you print these out. Excuse my clock. It's gonna dawn when. We'll give it just a minute. I usually turn it off and I forgot. I'm sorry. So these are the formats that you're going to fill out, and the question is here. Now let me show you the magic, because when we go back here and I go into the exercise presentations, and if I click on the exercise presentation, it's going to open up a PowerPoint. Now the trick is that this PowerPoint is a step-by-step process of how to do the exercise. The wording in the exercise is almost identical. The only thing that's going to be different is the amounts and the names. So when I click here and I push Control and click, and it'll take me to this exercise. On exercise 1, I'm just showing you that this exercise here is almost identical, where it says he transferred $50,000 from his personal account into a business account, and he named the enterprise. Here, Karen White organized a charity fund, and she contributed $1,000 of her own money, and the fund is called Vicky Hill Recovery Fund. So while the names are different, the wording is slightly different, the idea is the same. So the starting amount here is $1,000. On this exercise, the starting amount is $50,000. So if you're watching this, you're going to quickly be able to see the similarities between this. Now let me show you the magic of this PowerPoint. If you actually go into the slide presentation, I'm clicking on slideshow from current slide. It's going to actually walk you through step by step of what happens, and it's going to explain when we have $50,000 at Albert Enterprise, the cash increases by 50, and it decreases his personal account by 50. And then it goes on to 30,000. It shows what increases and what decreases. So when you're in PowerPoint mode, it's going to be a step-by-step lesson on exactly how to finish your exercises. So if you are in this mode, one of the things that happens is that everything kind of shows up all at once and it's a little bit hard to see it. So, and even if you go to some of the slides, it will, like this one, you can see that unless you're in slide mode, everything is on top of each other because it appears one at a time in a slideshow, and on here, it's actually piled on top of each other. So I strongly suggest you go into slideshow mode. So again, let me go back here to where you are because this is how you will complete the exercises. You will open up the exercise resource and you will print out the questions that you're given here to do. You'll open up the exercise presentation. You'll actually walk through the presentation along with your exercise sheet to make sure you understand. If they ask you a question about, they ask you like an accrual and you don't know what that means, I would suggest you go to your book and look that up. Or sometimes even Google can tell you what that means. But you need to know the language that they're using along the way. So if they tell you this is a liability, you need to know what a liability is. Those are the kind of questions that are going to be on the test, on the midterm and the final. Also during class, I have a demonstration problem. And you can actually go into these class presentations, and they are PowerPoints that I'm using when I'm in class, and you can actually walk through them yourself. Week 1, I didn't have any videos, but week 2 and going on, I will have some videos for you to watch. So if you're uncertain of what those might look like, some of the topics, you'll be able to take a look at that. So you can see I have this in PDF form, and it just is walking you through the big things that you need to know, along with a demonstration problem here. So take a look at the class presentation PowerPoints before you go into doing your exercises. Take a look at the textbook PowerPoints before you start your exercises. And if you need to look at this overview video, you can look at this here also. Make sure you get your learning engagement done and get it submitted to exercise week 1 on time, exercise week 2 on time. Make sure your posts are done on time. Okay, hope that cleared up some of the questions. Those of you that are working online, if you have any questions or want to arrange a time where we could talk, I'd be glad to set up an office hour time with you personally so that we can find some time to make sure you're successful. Thanks for sharing and being here today, and I hope that helps.